Do you love learning about the South Carolina Lowcountry? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be taking you on a driving tour around Bluffton. I'm going to show you some of the hottest spots, some of the biggest and best neighborhoods, and by the end of this, I think you'll start to feel a bit like a local. So if that interests you, stay tuned because we are getting after it right now. All right, so we are coming down Highway 278. So for a lot of you that are coming to visit the Bluffton area, you're probably, if you're driving, you're gonna come down I-95, you're gonna exit on 278, and 278 is basically the main thoroughfare, the main highway that runs all the way from I-95 all the way out to Hilton Head Island. So a lot of people have heard of Hilton Head. Now, on the right is Sun City, and you can see the Sun City golf course over there. And here in just a second, you're actually going to see the main gate to Sun City. And everything on the right side of the road is Beaufort County, and everything on the left side of the road is Jasper County. But Sun City is by far the largest community in Bluffton and in the South Carolina Lowcountry. It's a huge 55 and better community with over $200 million worth of amenities. There's probably 200 different clubs that you can join on a daily schedule. There's probably 40 plus activities that you can participate in. And everything on the right side is the original section of Sun City. It started about 30 years ago, and everything on the left side is pretty much the new section of Sun City. But again, it doesn't really matter which section you live in. You have access to all the amenities regardless. It's awesome. It's gated. You can ride your golf cart around in there. They've got all kinds of clubs. There's a bunch of restaurants and shops and dining around the perimeter of Sun City, so you can ride your golf cart out to all of those. This bridge that we're about to drive under is actually the bridge that connects the south side of Sun City to the north side of Sun City. And you can actually ride your golf cart, your car, your bike. You can walk across that bridge. And over on the right here, you can see a whole bunch of shops and things that you can get to by golf cart from Sun City. There's an ice cream shop over there that I absolutely love. There's Okatee Ale House, which is one of the biggest hot spots for the Sun City crowd. Over here on the left, you've got more restaurants and shops and dining. Cracker Barrel is one of my favorite places. A lot of times that's where I have people meet me if we're gonna go on a Sun City tour. But we're just gonna keep rolling down 278. I'm gonna point out some more neighborhoods and businesses and things that you might find interesting. We're about to, this little exit here to the right, this is Highway 170. And this kind of is perpendicular to Highway 278. And if you made a left on 170, it's going to take you out to historic Beaufort, where our cameraman Tim, who's running the camera today, that's where he lives. If you make a right, it would take you over to the Pritchardville area, which if you stay till the end of the video, we're actually going to finish up making a big loop around Bluffton. And we're going to take a look at the Pritchardville area, which is one of the hottest up and coming areas of Bluffton. Now over here on the left, you've got Pepper Hall, which is a new sort of multifamily development, all rentals. I don't think there's anything for sale in there. That used to be just a big open field, and they've developed it. So there's a, you know, if you're looking for a rental, that's a nice place. Over on the right, you've got some car dealerships, gas stations. Tucked back here is Island West Golf Club, which is a really nice little neighborhood. There is a public golf course in there, and I've sold a few houses in there. It's really great if you want the golf course lifestyle, but you don't want to pay to be in a private club. You don't want the super high fees. And you know, prices are pretty moderate in there. So it's not a starter neighborhood by any means, but you can get a pretty good value. It's been around for a while. The houses are just a tad bit older, probably like early and mid 2000s. Now here on the left is the first of the private golf clubs. So this is Berkeley Hall. And so keep in mind, if you're watching this video and you haven't seen my other videos on my channel, you can do a search. I've done I've done videos on pretty much all these neighborhoods, so if you want to deep dive on any of them. But Berkeley Hall is a private golf course, meaning when you buy in that neighborhood, you are automatically a member of the golf club. But you're talking, you know, $100,000 roughly, plus or minus, to buy into these clubs, and then usually around $20,000 to $30,000 per year to live in the club. But they have 2 golf courses there. This is they call it a core golf course, meaning all the holes on the golf courses are in the center of the community, and the neighborhood kind of wraps around the exterior. So when you're on the golf course, you're not actually seeing many houses. It's really, really pretty. They have a waterfront area. They've got all kinds of fitness. They've got dining facilities, lots of clubs, lots of social life. So there are multiple private golf course clubs around Bluffton. And we're going to drive past quite a few of them, but Berkeley, Belfair, Colleton, Palmetto Bluff, we're not actually going to drive out to Palmetto Bluff because that would be quite a bit out of the way. But if you're interested in Palmetto Bluff, I do have videos specifically about that club. You also have neighborhoods in Bluffton that are golf optional, where you can live in there. It is a private golf club, but you're not required to join the golf club. That would be places like Oldfield, which we're not going to actually drive by Oldfield today because it's down 170, is a little bit off the beaten path, and we're just making a big loop today. But again, if you're interested in Oldfield, you can always go and watch that video to learn more about that. Also Hampton Hall, we're going to swing by Hampton Hall so you'll see where that's at. Right here is Eagles Point, so this is another public golf course community. Same type of deal as Island West, which we drove past. Anybody can golf in there, but you get the golf course lifestyle without necessarily having to pay the huge initiation fees and huge annual fees. Now on the right, you're seeing Rose Hill Golf Course, and Rose Hill is a really awesome neighborhood. It's actually split on both sides of Highway 278. So everything on the right side of the road right now is what they call the golf course side, and everything on the left side of the road is what they call the equestrian side or the estate side. And the Rose Hill community also is a public golf course. So you get to live in a golf course community. They have a restaurant in there. They have a tennis facility in there. They have some swimming pools, not a huge like pool complex, but a couple of smaller pools throughout the community. And you get that golf course lifestyle without paying those crazy fees. It's only like a couple $1,000s to live in there, and a very minor transfer fee or initiation fee. Now everything on the left side is the equestrian side, or what they call the estate side. So much bigger lots. Some of the homes actually have their own barns and their own equestrian facilities. They actually have polo fields out there, and they hold polo matches in Rose Hill. And they also have their own boat ramp and waterfront area. So if you have a small boat and you want to put your boat into the rivers, we've got lots of rivers and waterways around here. Rose Hill has that. The other thing people love about Rose Hill is there's lots of trees. They didn't clear cut it. So you actually feel like you're living in a forest when you live in Rose Hill. It feels a lot like Sea Pines and Hilton Head. The houses are a little bit older. So if you want a brand spanking new house, that might not be the first choice. Bank of America right there. Tucked back in is Publix, and there's lots of shopping plazas around here. But one of the things that people really love about living in Bluffton is all the commercial is hidden behind trees. Now on the left, we're coming up on Belfair. So Belfair is the second private golf mandatory club here on Highway 278. And Berkeley Hall and Belfair and Colleton River, they all kind of compete with each other for the same customers. They all have 2 golf courses. They're all private. You have to live in the neighborhood to play on the golf courses. You have to join the club. They're all going to be, roughly $100,000 plus or minus dollars to buy into them. Again, $20,000 to $30,000 per year. They've all got incredible golf. They all have incredible golf practice facilities. They're all immaculate. They're all manicured. The landscaping is gorgeous. Incredible fitness facilities, incredible, racket sports facilities. So if you want tennis or pickleball or anything like that, most of them have bocce. They are not age restricted, so families can live in there, anybody can live in there. I'd say the majority of folks that are moving into Berkeley, Belfair, and Colleton are very passionate about golf, because if you're going to pay that kind of money to live in a private golf club, you're probably going to want to play golf a few times a week. Although I have sold to people in these neighborhoods that don't play golf. They just want to live in the private club. So, you never know. Belfair right here, if you turn left, it's known for its avenue of oaks. When you drive down Belfair Oaks Boulevard, you go through this beautiful drive of all these like 200-300-year-old oak trees overhanging the road. And it's like the quintessential Southern experience. People, it takes their breath away. I've had people that want to buy in there just because of the oak trees. And as we're going down Highway 278, like on the right, this is all commercial district. There's office buildings, there's gas stations, there's shopping plazas, all kinds of things. But one thing they've done really well here in Bluffton is they actually keep everything behind trees, and they keep the signs very small. So it's not like Myrtle Beach where you've got neon signs and all you can eat buffets and all that kind of stuff up and down the road. I'd say it's understated elegance, and they really try to preserve the nature around here. Now we're shooting this video at the end of November. And so this just gives you an idea. We're in the fall season. We don't really get the changing of colors here in the trees like you do in North Carolina, but you can see the grass has gone dormant. There's still a lot of green because we have a lot of pine trees and that sort of thing around here. Over on the left, you've got another shopping plaza. You've got a Kroger over here. You've got Wendy's. You've got a bunch of different restaurants. And we're getting pretty close to what we'd consider like downtown Bluffton. Now on the left here, this is actually the Crescent, which is another public golf course, so anybody can play in there. Again, kind of moderately priced homes. And again, if you want that golf experience, but you don't want to pay those huge fees, the Crescent would be a good option. And we're actually about to cross under Bluffton Road here. And Bluffton Road, if I make a right, that takes you down into Old Town, which we are going to go explore later. But I'm taking kind of a roundabout way so I can show you the far end of Bluffton. But just know that if you went this way to the right, you'd be going right down into Old Town by my office. All right, so we're just kind of making our way down 278. We're almost on the far side of Bluffton here, getting close to Hilton Head. You got Target on the right, or as my wife likes to call it, Target. There's a Starbucks back in there. You've got Home Depot over here on the left, tucked behind those woods. All right, so we are getting almost out to Hilton Head Island. So we are almost as far as you can go in Bluffton here. I wanted to get down here at least to show you guys Colleton River. So that is just another half a mile or so. Colleton River is the last of the private clubs on Highway 278, the private golf clubs. Now on the right here is Tanger Outlets 1. So a lot of people, when they come visit Hilton Head and they come, vacation here, they like to stop at the Tanger Outlets. We've actually got two of them. We've got Tanger Outlet 1 and Tanger Outlet 2. They're just about a mile apart, and they've got all your brand name stores. So Travis Matthew shirts, I love going there. They've got all kinds of outlet stores, Oakley Outlet, all your brand names. So if you like outlet shopping, it's all outdoor shopping. It's real pretty, food, ice cream, of course. And I'm gonna go ahead and get over here. So here to the left is Colleton River Club. That's the entrance, and that is the last and final private golf club. Again, 100,000 plus to buy in, 20, 30,000 a year, 2 golf courses, everything you could want in a private club. And I'm just going to kind of cut through this little business district here. On the left is Lowe's. So again, we already saw Home Depot, but Lowe's is tucked right back in the woods here. You've got a bunch of shopping on the right, some discount stores, Ross, Big Lots, that sort of fun stuff. And we're cutting through to the Bluffton Parkway, which the Bluffton Parkway cuts right through the heart of Bluffton. That's the way most locals actually get from one side of Bluffton to the other. And if I made a left here, this would basically catch a flyover onto the Hilton Head Island Bridge. So we're basically right at the edge of Hilton Head right now. And so you can take the Bluffton Parkway to connect onto the Cross Island Parkway going onto the bridge. But so right now we're on the Bluffton Parkway, and this runs all the way from one side of Bluffton to the other side of Bluffton, all the way from Highway 170 all the way out to the Hilton Head Island Bridge. And there's only a couple of stoplights on this entire parkway. And you can see when we were on Highway 278, this is the back side of the outlets right here. But when we were on Highway 278, we had a little bit of traffic that was bugging us. But once we've jumped on the parkway, you can see not much traffic over here. So you can really zip around Bluffton a lot faster just by staying on the Bluffton Parkway. All right, over here on the right is Planet Fitness. So if you want a discount fitness place, and we're almost back to getting close to Old Town Bluffton. So earlier when we were coming down Highway 278, I said, you know, we were crossing Bluffton Road, and I said if we made a right there, we would have gone into Old Town. But I wanted to at least take you down and show you, I wanted to show you Colleton River, and I wanted to show you the outlets. But we're coming up on this traffic circle here. So those of you that are not from here, you may not have traffic circles, and I know a lot of people struggle with the traffic circles. But if you're in the right lane, you cannot go all the way around the circle. If you want to go all the way around the circle, you have to be in the left lane, which is what we're going to do. Now, if I went around the circle and kept going straight, I would actually stay on the Bluffton Parkway, and I could go all the way over to Highway 170. But I'm going to take you guys down through Old Town. So here, if I went to the right, we're staying on the Bluffton Parkway, but we're going to make a right out of this traffic circle, and we are now getting into Old Town Bluffton, and this is the historic district. Right here on the right is Burnt Church Distillery, major tourist spot. They make their own liquor there. It's absolutely gorgeous in there. It's one of the most beautiful interiors I've ever been to, and they do some tasting flights where you can taste all different kinds of whiskey. Over on the left here, you've got a bunch of commercial space, some attorney's offices, some restaurants. The post office is right back over here. Actually, all the closings for Sun City are right over here at Butler and College Law Firm. So I go there quite a bit. And right here is Bluffton Family Chiropractic, where I've been going quite a bit lately because I've got a little pinched nerve in my lower back. But right here in Old Town, this is the hub of a lot of activity here in Bluffton. This is where they have all the festivals, all the live music, all the events. This is kind of the walkable part of Bluffton where people like to come and park and walk around. And we're just gonna make a right here. And we're almost to where my office is at. You've got some restaurants here on the right. Mi Tierra, Mexican restaurant, I love. Brico is an Italian restaurant. And then you've got the Bluffton Oyster Company, which is Toomer's, and he's actually the mayor of Bluffton right now. And they've also got a seafood place right on the water where you can buy fresh seafood, and then you can also go to their restaurant. But this little area here is called the Promenade. And right here on the right is my office with those two little white rocking chairs. So if you come to meet me, that's where you'll be. But lots of shopping, lots of boutiques, lots of restaurants. You've got Monkeys over here, which is a women's store owned by women, and lots of great clothes. You've got Crudo Restaurant, you've got Cassandra's Kitchen. Probably my favorite restaurant in Bluffton is this one right here, which is the Bluffton Room. And that is pretty much as fine dining as you get. You want to make reservations there. You've got these restaurants here, which I go to quite a bit. Captain Woody's is one of my favorites. You've got Local Pie, which is a pizza place. You've got Bluffton Barbecue. You've got a slider bar. You've got Calhoun Street Tavern right here, which Mackenzie, who works for me, she actually moonlights there once in a while as a bartender, so you might see her. A few other real estate companies. Wine Time is a really great place to get wine. But again, Corner Perk is a coffee shop that I go to quite a bit, and just a super cool hangout, really great vibe. Now, here's how you tell who the locals are. This is not a four-way stop, but because there's so much traffic here, the locals actually treat this as a four-way stop. So if they wave you over, they're probably local. But right here's a couple of little historic houses that they haven't torn down, but this is basically what Bluffton used to look like back in the day. It was a little fishing village right on the May River before it exploded. It was literally like 1 square mile by 1 square mile. And a lot of those little shacks have been turned into art galleries and boutiques. And even though those shacks look like they were falling down, they're probably worth millions of dollars just because of where they're located. But here on the left, you can see a couple more art galleries. And so when they have like the Seafood Fest or all the different festivals, they'll block this street off, and you'll see lots of vendors up and down this street. This is the Cottage on the right, another one of my favorite little restaurant spots. And the Bluffton Farmers Market is 1 block over at this stop sign right here. If you go right down that road by 1 block, that's where they have the Bluffton Farmers Market every Thursday. And that's a really good day to come out because you're going to see all your neighbors, you're going to see people you know, and it's just jam-packed. It's really fun to walk around and get food and things like that. But you've got shops and dining and things to do all throughout this Old Town area. And we're going down the main stretch, but you can literally go a block either way, and there's other shops and other things to do. And then you can see some of the more historic homes. Some of them have been around since the 1800s. And we're going to go down to the end of this road and turn around because I want you to see the crown jewel of Bluffton. So this road dead ends into the May River, and this building on the right is the Church of the Cross. It's the second oldest building in Bluffton. It's also the most photographed spot in Bluffton, and you can see there's some people out there right now posing for a photograph. And right over here to the left, you've got a really nice park, which is called the Wright Family Park. And they've just redone it. It's absolutely gorgeous out there. They've got some swings that you can sit on and overlook the river. And I don't know if we'll get a great view of it or not, but right out here to the right and out in front of us, that's the May River. And we've got multiple rivers around Bluffton, but this is what Bluffton is known for. And it's really a water-centric community. A lot of people love to hang out on the May River. They have boats. They go out, the tide goes up and the tide goes down, and when the tide's down, there's actually sandbars out in the middle of the river that everybody will pull their boats up. They'll unload their dogs and their kids and their coolers, and they'll get out and run around and see their friends. And then when the tide comes up, they pack up and they go on with their day boating. But the May River is probably what Bluffton is most known for. But there's other rivers. People go out on the Colleton River, and you know, they've got the New River out by Palmetto Bluff. The Ocoee River, if you're living in Sun City, you have access to the Ocoee River, which is absolutely gorgeous. This is Okan Restaurant, or Okan. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but anyway, that's an African restaurant I've been meaning to try. I think I'm going to take my 16-year-old with me. And here I'm just taking a little back road, little road that a lot of people don't drive down, but I want to show you something pretty cool down here. Here you can see people driving around in their golf cart. That's pretty common here in Old Town. A lot of people like to live in Old Town because they can have a golf cart and they can ride down to all the shops and dining and all the fun stuff. All right, so this is Wharf Street, and this takes you down to Oyster Factory Park. And this is also one of many public boat ramps here in the community. And right here on the left is Oyster Factory Park. So if you're one of my existing clients, you probably know this park because we're one of the main sponsors of the Sunset Festivals. And the Sunset Festival is something that we co-sponsor and we invite all of our past clients to, and they bring out like 3 bands. And we do that like 6 or 7 times a year. But right here is the public boat ramp, and it's absolutely gorgeous. You can see the May River, and right here on your left is the Bluffton Oyster Factory, which is one of the last places here on the East Coast where they still cultivate oysters by hand, and they still actually shuck the oysters by hand. And a lot of the people working there are 3rd, 4th, 5th generation employees who have been there for a long time. And this is actually owned by the mayor and his family. So that restaurant I showed you earlier, this is where they're getting their seafood from. And again, you can come down here and get fresh seafood anytime you want. So, and the oysters that come out of the river are absolutely delicious. We do a lot of oyster roasts around here during the winter time. That's one of the big social gatherings. Everybody gathers around these tables. They cook, they steam the oysters, or they cook them on a big oyster table and they put wet burlap sacks over them to steam them, and then they throw them out on the oyster tables, and everybody gathers around and drinks a beer and hangs out with their friends. And so that's a big part of the Lowcountry culture. All right, here on the right is a new place called Ma Daisy's Porch. And this is a Gullah-inspired restaurant owned and operated by some Gullah descendants. And they've got a great restaurant in there. They've got event space. And going this way, we're actually on May River Road. So it's running along the May River. And this actually also goes all the way from one side of Bluffton to the other side of Bluffton. And so if you want to go from one side of Bluffton to the other, you have 3 options. You can go May River Road, which we're on now, you can go Bluffton Parkway, or you can go Highway 278. And this road right here is a designated rural corridor, meaning they want to keep it looking old-fashioned. So it's going to remain a 2-lane road. You can see they've got lots of beautiful trees overhanging the road. But because it is a designated rural corridor, it does tend to get a little bit more traffic than some of the other roads because they're not expanding it. But it's still a really cool drive. Here on the left is Stock Farm, which is a really cool little neighborhood. It's got that Southern style architecture, which a lot of people want. And typically you don't get the Southern architecture unless you go over to Beaufort. A lot of Bluffton are in these planned communities, these gated neighborhoods, and a lot of them don't have that Southern feel, that Southern living type of architecture. But Stock Farm is one neighborhood right in Old Town here where you are going to get that sort of architecture, which is really nice. Do you want to know everything there is to know about the South Carolina Lowcountry? Whether it's Bluffton, Beaufort, Hilton Head Island, or Jasper County, then subscribe below and tap that bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know every time I drop a new video. My name is David Simcox, host of this channel and a local real estate agent. I get calls and emails every day from people just like you looking to make their move here, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 3 days, 3 months, or even 3 years, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text, or you can always book a Zoom call by going to lowcountrylifestylesteam.com. Now, without further ado, let's keep going on our tour. Yeah, even though this road has some traffic, I just absolutely love how beautiful it is. To me, this has the Southern feel. This has that sort of allure of that Lowcountry lifestyle with all these magnificent oak trees and the Spanish moss draped over them. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. And all these houses here on the left side that are tucked back behind the trees, those are all on the river. Here on the right is Cahill's Restaurant, one of my favorite restaurants, and they actually had a farm, and they started off as just a roadside produce market, and they've turned it into a restaurant. It's going to be all your kind of low country comfort foods, so fried chicken, they do chicken and waffles, they've got lima beans and black-eyed peas and macaroni and cheese and all that kind of southern comfort food. But it's really cool. They still have their farm out behind the restaurant where they grow a lot of their own produce. They've got live chickens out there. It's really fun to bring kids out there and let them walk around and look at the chickens as well. All right, so we are coming up here. We're gonna make a right. So I could actually continue on this road. I could go straight down May River Road, and it would actually take you to the Pritchardville traffic circle, where we're gonna end up later in this video. But I wanna take a little detour here. And if you went straight on that road, it would actually take you in the back way to Savannah. And from here to Savannah, you're like 20 minutes away. So you could literally be having dinner on River Street in Savannah in like 20 minutes. So we're really close, but we're kind of taking a little cut through here because I want to show you just a couple other neighborhoods. Here on the left is the farm, which is a great sort of entry-level neighborhood. You've got Pine Ridge on the right, and we're basically about to jump back on the Bluffton Parkway. So you've got some of the Bluffton school complex back here on the right, and coming up here pretty soon is also Hilton Head Christian Academy, which we're not going to see it, but it's right here, kind of tucked back behind the woods. Here's another entrance to the farm, so this kind of wraps around. Everything back in the left side here is the farm neighborhood. Really great. I've got some great friends that live back in there. But if you want a sort of entry-level priced home, that's a good option to look at. And then here on your right is one of the Bluffton school complexes. And then on your left, back behind the trees, you can't really see it, but that is the Bluffton Rec Center. So they've got all kinds of basketball courts, batting cages, soccer field, fitness facilities. They've got a skateboard park in there with half pipes and cool stuff. My 16-year-old loves going in there. And it's safe. It's a good place to hang out. You've got Bluffton High School tucked right back in here. You've got Lowcountry Community Church, which is one of the larger churches here in Bluffton. Really cool. I visited a few times. I think his name's Pastor Jeff. He does a really great job. They've got a great youth group program there. Huge number of kids in the youth group. Now here on the left is Hampton Hall. So Hampton Hall is one of my favorite neighborhoods to sell in. Absolutely gorgeous homes, but it is a private golf club, but the golf is optional. So you don't have to buy into the golf club if you don't want to. You can still play a certain number of rounds per year as a guest at the guest rate if you decide not to buy the golf membership. And homes in here are probably going to go for about $800,000 up to about $2.5 million roughly, and a little bit bigger lots, so you don't feel like you're right on top of your neighbor. They only have the one golf club in there, or the one golf course, where Berkeley, Belfair, Colleton each has two, but it is a really nice golf course. And they have an outdoor resort style pool. They have an indoor lap pool. They have a couple of restaurants in there, tennis, pickleball, bocce ball. They've got a huge playground area for kids, so it's not just like an older person place. There's a lot of families raising their kids in here. On the right side of the road, you've got Shell Hall, which is another nice sort of mid-priced neighborhood. And so we're actually on Bluffton Parkway. So when we crossed past Hampton Hall, Bluffton Parkway actually connected in with this road right here. And on the right is Cross School. So that's another private school. So we passed right by Hampton Hall. We passed Hilton Head Christian Academy, which is a great private school. We just passed Cross Schools, which is a great private school. And of course, on the right, we've got Parker's gas station, which is probably the largest gas station chain here in the Lowcountry. I think it's a local guy that owns it. They're all over, and they've got pretty good food in there. So if I'm on a tight time schedule and I'm out showing properties and I just have like a 10-minute break, I have been known to go in there and get the corn dogs and the fried chicken and the macaroni and cheese. Now we're gonna make a left here just to continue on the Bluffton Parkway. Now if I went straight, it would take you up to the movie theater complex, and there's actually a couple of restaurants up there as well. So I think Outback Steakhouse is up there, and the movie theater, and some other businesses. So if you like Outback Steakhouse, like my wife does, it's right up there. All right, so we are on the Bluffton Parkway still. We're probably about 3/4 of the way back to Highway 170, back to our starting place. But I just want to pull into this shopping plaza real quick, because a lot of people want to know what's the shopping like, and everything's tucked back behind trees. So this is Buckwalter Place, and this is where there's actually a Publix grocery store back in here. There's a Kroger, and the Kroger in here is known by the locals as the Crow Bar instead of Kroger, because they have a wine bar inside of Kroger, and some of the folks like to stop and have a couple of glasses of wine while they're out shopping. And right here on the left is the bowling alley, which is pretty darn fun. And then on the left is Ace Hardware, which I personally love Ace Hardware. I don't like going to Lowe's or Home Depot because I feel like they just don't go out of their way to help you. But at Ace, you got 5 people running up to you as soon as you come in, and they all want to help you. And I love that. I love service. Now, I'm not going all the way over here, but you've got Kroger over here, you've got Hot Works, you've got a whole bunch of different restaurants, you've got the police department. There's actually a brewery right back in here called Southern Barrel Brewery, which is a great place to get craft beer and pretty good food. And there's actually a pretty good sushi restaurant over here called Wasabi, which I like. But again, I just wanted to give you a little taste of what one of these plazas look like, because they are all tucked back behind trees. They actually just opened this little putt-putt golf place here too, which I haven't tried, but I want to. So, all right, so we're gonna jump back out onto Bluffton Parkway, and I've just got a couple more neighborhoods to show you. All right, so we're getting close to the end of our tour. Just a couple more areas to show you, a couple more neighborhoods. But again, you can see driving on the Bluffton Parkway is nice and easy. Not many traffic lights, and traffic is moving along nicely here. The other thing that's really cool is you see this walking trail over along the Bluffton Parkway. You can actually live in any of the neighborhoods all the way out off of 170, and you can take these walking and hiking trails all the way down to Bluffton. It probably goes for 6 or 7 miles. So if you want to ride bikes or e-bikes and go on a long family bike ride, you can stay on a sidewalk pretty much all the way from one side of Bluffton all the way to the other side. All right, now here on the left is the gate to Hampton Lake, which is another one of my favorite neighborhoods to sell in, because I just think it's so cool of a concept. There's actually a couple of gates. There's this gate, and then there's one just about a half a mile up. But Hampton Lake originally was going to be a golf course community, and they changed their mind, and they dug out the entire golf course, and they made it into a series of 7 miles of connected waterways. And so a lot of the homes are actually on the water, and people have their own boats docked behind their house, and you could drive your boat around the neighborhood and go to the amenity center, which has a huge resort style pool and multiple restaurants and tennis and pickleball and an incredible fitness center. And even if you don't have your own boat or you don't live on the water, they have their own marina where you can use one of their community boats, and you can go out fishing or boating or out on a little cocktail cruise. And it's an amazing community, and you've got homes priced from about $700 again to about $2.5 million. So great neighborhood, but we're almost down to the end of the Bluffton Parkway. We're getting close to back to Highway 170, which is almost where we started this video. But before we wrap things up, I want to make a left and I want to go down to Pritchardville to show you one of the hottest, fastest growing areas of Bluffton. All right, so now we're back on Highway 170. So remember, Highway 170 runs perpendicular to Highway 278 and perpendicular to the Bluffton Parkway and perpendicular to May River Road. Now, over on the left, all those woods, those are slated for commercial development at some point. So I think sometime in the next 10 years, you're gonna have nothing but restaurants going down this road and shops and dining. And over on the right, everything behind the trees is the south side of Sun City. Now on the left here, you've got Lawton Station, which is a really great neighborhood, kind of mid-priced homes. And we're coming into an area called Pritchardville. Now, Pritchardville is not necessarily a town, it's just a section of Bluffton. And this is the section of Bluffton that is closest to Savannah. So if you work in Savannah and you're gonna commute, this might be a really good part of Bluffton to look in. Now, on the right is Cypress Ridge. It's actually called Mill Creek at Cypress Ridge. They used to call it Cypress Ridge, but they changed the name. So now this is called Mill Creek at Cypress Ridge, and this is actually the second largest community, the second largest neighborhood in all of Bluffton behind Sun City. And you've got tons and tons and tons of houses out there. You've got 2 amenity centers. The main amenity center has a giant resort style swimming pool with a lazy river that goes around and a splash pad for the kids, and it's got tennis and pickleball and basketball courts, and they've got walking and hiking trails that go all throughout the community, and fishing ponds, and lots of, I mean, everybody lives in there, from families to retirees to single folks, you name it. But lots of, you know, you see kids riding their e-bikes. It's a really fun place to go and a great place to go trick-or-treating. Now we're almost down to the Pritchardville traffic circle. A couple more things I'll point out before we wrap up the video. Here on the right is Four Seasons, which is another 55 plus community. And here on the left, this is the entrance to an entirely new or fairly new shopping plaza. So back behind those woods, you've got Publix, you've got a liquor store, you've got a Starbucks, you've got a couple of restaurants. There's a flatbread restaurant in there, and they're just filling in with more businesses. And this is kind of the fastest growing commercial district here in Bluffton. And they're really trying to sort of recreate like an old town experience down here. So all the families and people living in these neighborhoods around the Pritchardville area will be able to, you know, have their own sort of hangout spots. And as I go around the traffic circle to the right, that's the back way to Savannah. And this road right here is called New Riverside Road, which actually winds around for about 6 miles and ends up over by Palmetto Bluff. And over on the right, you've got a huge brand new park over there, which is incredible. And there's a big red barn where they're gonna have all kinds of events and community activities. And there's actually a jogging trail that goes along this New Riverside Road through the woods. It's one of my favorite walking and jogging trails and biking trails. It goes for about 6 or 7 miles all the way out to Palmetto Bluff. But this right here is the last place I want to show you on this tour. This is a whole new plaza that they've built to sort of try to recreate that outdoor walking and shopping experience that you have in Old Town. So the folks that live down on this side of Bluffton are going to have their own set of restaurants and entertainment and things to do. And there is also like some apartments and multifamily going up in here. But I love coming down here. I can't wait to see what all comes in here because this is a work in progress. But you've got like the Bluffs Day Spa. I think it's maybe named after Palmetto Bluffs. You've got Eggs Up Grill, which is great on a Saturday or Sunday to go out there and have kind of diner style food. Sakura Japanese Sushi and Restaurant, Japanese Sushi and Ramen Restaurant. I just ate there the other night with my 16-year-old. It was really, really good. You've got the Grind Coffee Roasters, which has several locations here in Bluffton. Really good. I love it. Ian owns that. He's a really nice guy. And then Letters Gift Shop, which is where I get all my closing gifts. They also have a location in Old Town, but the Bluffs is really good. I've actually gotten a couple of massages here, and I just recently got my wife a gift card there. So hopefully that'll put a smile on her face. And for you folks watching from New York, you've got the New York Butcher Shop right here, which when you go in, if you love the smell of meat, and I do actually, it smells incredible in there. So anyway, I didn't cover everything in Bluffton, but I hope you got a feel for sort of the lay of the land here in Bluffton. Thank you so much for staying till the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the driving tour around Bluffton. I hope you learned something. And of course, if I can help you find your own low country lifestyle, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text, or you can always book a Zoom call by going to lowcountrylifestylesteam.com. And of course, I want to see you in person at some point, but if not, I will at least see you on the next video.